Okay, guys, I just want to make a quick video on the assessment of my new acquisition, my 71 DT1 250. Just picked it up in Georgia, got back yesterday, did some preliminary assessment of it. But just wanted to go over a little bit more thorough, and maybe this will help some guys that are trying to decide if they're buying a bike and what they should look out for and maybe avoid. But anyway, just here, it's getting a little crowded in the shop here. Got the CT1. I wish somebody would come and get that from me. That one's for sale. And of course, I got my DT175. I'm going to be putting that on the road this spring. This should be a pretty good bike. Got the old Honda there too. That's my beater. Anyway, this is the DT1. So far, it looks pretty good to me, but I figure I could go over it a little bit more thoroughly here. Start at the top. The speedometer and the tach actually look pretty good. A lot of these are cracked from sitting outside. I don't think this bike sat outside very long. According to the previous owner, it sat inside for about 20 years. Now this, the mileage is showing 553 miles, which seems impossible to me for a bike that's 50 years old, or 45 years old. But looking it over, I'm kind of amazed at how original it is. Like if you look at the pegs, see they're hardly worn. Same thing with the shifter. I suppose you could always, buy new rubbers for that. But a lot of things really struck me as being in great condition. And I'm not sure about these tires. These tires are the Dunlop Trials Universal. I think those are the original style that came on this. And these are, you can see they're very cracked, but the front has hardly got any wear on it at all. And the rear has got a little bit more wear on it. Maybe people were doing burnouts with it, who knows. But has a little dent in the tank there. These badges are, they're okay, but they're not great. The light, I noticed, has a little ding right there. I think I can get that out. You got your typical surface rust here and there, which really isn't bad compared to a lot of bikes that I've done. This one is really good. The chrome on the gauges is much better than what I'm used to dealing with. All this hardware, this will all clean up. The cables, actually this one's got a part number on it, which is pretty cool. I would assume that that's original, not sure. But the cables are in good working order. They're just a little bit worn, which I know the KDI has new ones, so I'll probably just end up getting a new set. Fortunately, the levers are in good shape. Actually has the original style brake light switch on there, which is pretty cool. My CT1 over here has the same style switch, and I was able to save it and actually get it to work pretty well. So I'll probably do the same thing with this. But standing back, it's not too bad, really. It's the grips need to be replaced, obviously. They're very hard and worn. The handlebars, the chrome is in pretty good shape, but they're definitely bent. They're slightly, you can kind of see how it's slightly bent. And regarding the mileage, like I said, I can't imagine a bike this age having such few miles, but I did lift up the front end, and I got the front wheel going pretty good, and the speedometer does work, and the odometer was turning over. So, unless they disconnected the cable for a long time, it's very possible. Now, I took a bore scope and I checked out the cylinder, and it's really clean. It has cross hatches all the way around. A little bit of wear, but not much. It looks like it was done very recently, and the piston is very clean. It turns out that it's a standard size piston. It could just be that whoever owned it before just pulled the cylinder off, honed it, put a new piston and rings in it, and let it go. The compression seems to be okay, but of course it hasn't run in probably 25 or 30 years. But, it's not horrible. I can turn it over pretty easy. I'm pretty sure that I'm going to end up doing a top end on the bike. But I want to get it running first to see how it runs and see what it does. I think the pipe, this is really what amazed me, is that this pipe, I don't know if you can see it, but this has got almost no real rust on it. This is all very superficial surface rust, but it is in amazing condition for the age. And also, I was shocked at the skid plate. You look at that skid plate, and it's pristine. It doesn't have any dings or dents, which is very unusual. I don't know if you can really see it too well, but it's in amazing condition. So there's a lot of things that I think with this bike you could make an argument that it could possibly be original mileage, but it's hard to tell. The clutch feels like it's working, but it really isn't. Front brakes work, rear brakes work. The seat, obviously, the foam is completely gone, and the seat pan does have some rust there that's going to either need to be replaced or repaired, or I'll just replace the whole seat pan. I was surprised to see it's got a battery in it, 6 volt, and actually holding a little bit less than a volt, which is surprising because that's probably 20 or 30 years since that's been charged up. The fender is okay. It's got this crack right here, but that's easy for me to fix. Weld that up and then do the body work on it, make it look pretty. The frame appears to be straight. I don't see any cracks or bends or anything that's suspect. And the tank, it's got a few little dings and dents in it, which isn't too bad. I've had much worse. I've had tanks that I've had to weld up pinholes and stuff. There's a pretty good sized dent there, but that'll come out. I don't think these badges are going to be usable. And I looked inside the headlight, and the wiring is very, very clean and tidy in there. I don't think it's ever been messed with. It appears to be just the way it came from the factory. One thing I haven't dealt with is this steering damper. Maybe one of you guys can school me on that a little bit. I understand the purpose of it, but I'm wondering if that's rebuildable or replaceable, or I guess I'll have to take it apart to see how it works. I'm not quite sure. The outer fork tubes are pretty good. They'll polish up good. The inner fork tubes have a little bit of pitting there that I don't think I'm not going to be able to do anything with that. But HV Cycle has brand new Inner tubes, about $200. So I'll probably, and they're very high quality, I'll probably end up doing that, just get new ones. What else here? Frame is in good shape. The cases will polish up nice. As I said, I'm really shocked at how little wear there is on these rubbers, which is good. I'm not sure if these are the factory buddy pegs or not, but they appear to be same side to side. I think these tabs for the turn signals, looks like they're bent in a little bit. I'm not sure if that's how they're supposed to be. Appears to be about the same on both sides. This one's bent a little more. Under here, the wiring, I looked in here, and the air filter is gone, but the cage is still there, so that's most important. The wiring appears to be mostly intact, but I'm not quite sure what's going on here. A couple of, I guess these are ground wires, probably for the turn signals. And got the junction here. I'll have to dig into that. Looks like it's been messed with a little bit. And then the oil tank appears to be in pretty good shape. The shocks, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to save those or not. Seems to be quite a bit of rust on those. New ones are available. I bought quite a few sets. They're available on Amazon, about $45 for shocks that look almost identical, and they work good. The bike has definitely got some miles on it because the sprocket is worn. And looking at the front sprocket, that's pretty much completely worn. The carburetor, I think, is stock. And one thing I did, I looked inside here because the crank seals, or at least the left side crank seal, needs to be replaced. So I went in there and I pulled it apart and yanked the seal out. And sure enough, it was leaking. You could tell. I have the old seal here. This is the stock Yamaha one. You can tell. Got the measurements off the lettering on there. So I ordered a new one, waiting for that to come in. The flywheel's in pretty good shape, although has had a little moisture in there at some point. But I'll clean that up, make that look good again. In any case, I ordered a normal one. And one thing I'm super happy about with this bike is that the rims, well, they do have a little bit of surface rust here and there. It seems to be coming off really easy. And the amazing thing is that I lifted up the front and I lifted up the back and I spun the wheels, and they're straight as can be. I mean, super straight. No bends, nothing, no wobbles, nothing really wonky going on. And I mean, you can see a lot of this is just grime and dirt. But I'm really happy about this because I like to use the stock wheels or the stock rims. The hubs will polish up nice. The spokes, I don't think I'm going to save those. Pretty sure I'm going to replace those with Buchanan spokes, but they're all tight. I mean, pretty much every bike I ever bought, the spokes were loose, and these are really all tight. So I'll tell you, I'm not 100% convinced, but I think there's a very good chance that this bike does have super low miles. If not, what's on the odometer is definitely really low miles. This spoke is bent a little bit. You can see that. But now these fender stays, these are available inexpensively online. I mean, I think they'll clean up, but they're so cheap online. I think they're like $9 plus shipping. this appears to be in really good shape, so that's good news. Of course, I'll rebuild the forks, new seals. These collars, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to save those or not. This one here is got a little bit of pitting there. Usually with the chrome, once it gets pitted, there's not much you can do with it. The exception is the wheels. A lot of times, I don't know if it's the style of chrome that they use or what, but a lot of times you get the rust on there and it cleans right up with this. I have this stuff here. See if I can find it. What I did with it? Here. This rust dissolver by Rust-Oleum. This stuff is miraculous. It's like a gel, squirts out like in a gel, and it stays on there for, half hour or whatever, and the rust just disappears. It's incredible. These rims on this bike were much worse than that. And they cleaned up almost brand new. I mean, that's, they look really good. I mean, this is hardly, you can't tell. And the same thing with the CT1. These were much worse than that in the DT. And these cleaned up amazing. So that stuff really does work. Highly recommend. But yeah, so that's essentially it. Tail light, I don't know if I'll be able to save that. The lens, but you can get those, I think. Take the gas tank off and we'll see what's under there. Put you down here for a second. The tank is in great shape too. Seems to be. I was pretty thorough with it. I looked it all over, and there's a little bit of rust on the inside, but not bad at all. And I poked it around with an awl, and there's no thin spots or anything, so that'll be good. And these rubbers are even there, which is unusual too. Don't know if the petcock works, but I'll find that out. All right, so we'll come over and take a look. I had the spark plug out. I had the bore scope in there looking, and it looks pretty good. I'll see how it runs. The carburetor definitely needs to come off and clean that up before I start it. And the wiring here looks pretty much intact. This is how it's supposed to be. This is obviously not original, but pretty much everything here appears to be. And here's the rectifier. I'm not sure if that works or not. We'll find that out. But the way the wiring is routed here is pretty much, not sure what that is. That's a turn signal, not sure. This strap that holds the gas tank down, I'll have to get another one of those. Fortunately, I'm not sure, maybe you guys could tell me if this hole, I guess that hole is original. There was a tube going from the carburetor to there. It just looks weird having just a random hole there. But everything behind here looks great. Doesn't appear to have thrown a chain at all, ever, because there's no damage under there. Again, I'm totally shocked at that skid plate. I mean, that's amazing. And the pipe, I've never had a pipe that was that nice before. Fender's got a little dent here. That's no big deal. It's easy to fix. Again, maybe you guys can, I'll have to do a little research on that dampener. And now with these bikes, like this one had a dampener. My DT175 does not, and the CT did not. But I had an AT, it was an AT3, I think it was. a 73 125 that had it. So I'm wondering if it's, what is it? Is it the rake or the frame design, or what is it that obviously they that's something to dampen maybe like an oscillation in the front end or whatever. I'm not sure. This bike, kind of the plan for me with this is the DT175 I'm going to put on the road first in the spring. I'm going to take my test and everything with that, and then see how it goes on the road. And then I think the plan is I'm going to sell that one, and that the CT1's already for sale, so that I'll just end up with this one, and I'll put this one on the road because the 250 might be a little bit more suited to what I need, but we'll play it by ear. But we'll come around and take a look at, I think it's the stock coil. Again, you look at that pipe, it's just absolutely beautiful, beautiful. The cylinder head is, the whole thing needs to be cleaned. I'm probably going to end up taking that apart. Not sure what that clean spot is there. But I think that this dipstick is not original, or it may be. It just screws in there kind of wonky. Even has the brake switch and the lever. Everything there is pretty good. Has a little tool kit there, but there's nothing in there. There's no money or anything that anybody put in there. What else? I guess that's about it. So I'm really psyched about doing this one because it's really, really, if you look at it fast, it looks pretty grungy and it looks, rough. But when you look at it close, I'll tell you, it's solid. And I've had bikes where the frame was all rusted, and pitted and everything. This one is just so clean, so well taken care of. So I'll have to buy new handlebars. I'll end up probably doing an H4 conversion. And if I keep this bike, I may end up just doing a 12-volt conversion. We'll have to see. But, obviously new spokes, new tires, clean it all up, do the top end, new rear shocks probably, chains, sprockets, make it look nice. I'm really excited about this one. This obviously is the 68 DT1 is the holy grail and the one that everybody really loves and goes after. This one is, from what I understand, some of the guys had told me that these are actually a little bit better road manners, overall better design. I was kind of surprised that the frame, pretty much everything on this bike except the engine is a different part number from a 68, but and even up to 1970, and then 71 is when the whole frame design changed. I guess the rake on the forks, the whole geometry of it, which made it a little bit better road handling, maybe better handling off-road, I'm not sure. But to me, it looks exactly the same. I didn't know that there was any difference. So I'm kind of learning as I go along here, but I'm really excited because to me, this is a bike that I dreamed about having ever since I was probably 12 years old. But anyway, thanks for watching. Somebody come and get this CT1, please. It's for sale. And this way I got money to get this one done. So anyways, all right, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you on the web.